Hey everybody, it's your main Manny, and I wanted to do a video here about socialization between dogs. In particular, socialization of puppies. So what we're going to cover in this video is what type of dogs do we want our dogs socializing with, how many dogs do we need our dogs to meet, and what do we do when things get a little bit wrong, and what can get wrong with puppies and older dogs. So the first thing is, what type of dogs do we want our dog to meet? Well, first of all, we want our dog to meet dogs that are well behaved and well socialized with puppies. Okay, that means they're going to give clear boundaries to a pup, and they're going to do it in a way that builds up the dog's confidence and helps the dog become more sure of themselves. Okay. We also want to engage with dogs that are obedient. Emaniti, come. So it's going to set an example for our pup to show them about obedience and what it means to be a dog that comes when called, that sits and waits on command. Break. Break. And also understands that ever so important release word. Okay. Emaniti here is one of those dogs that's great with puppies. You know, we'll correct them, we'll put pressure on them, but also do it in a way that allows the dog to become more confident and feel very powerful in their ability to, push back and tell Emaniti, hey, give me some space. And Emaniti loves that. She listens to them. How many dogs do we want our dog to meet, and how often? A lot of times we're trying to get our dog to meet so many dogs, but at the same time, we're trying to have some sort of goal that the dog will become playful or become more confident. And it's really important that we go for quality over quantity, okay? So we're going to want to interact with dogs when we have the time and the space to set them up for success, okay? So having the dog on a leash, walking down the street and saying, hey, can he meet every single dog? Is maybe not the best idea, because there's not the possibility to play. And if something gets weird on the leash, as it oftentimes does, even something as simple as the leash getting wrapped up around a dog's leg or our legs, we're going to stop the interaction, and our dog may be left not exactly understanding why. What happened? Why did that interaction end? And a lot of the reactive dogs that come to us, that's actually how this starts, is they're on a leash, they go to meet a dog, things get weird, the dog goes the other way, and our dog becomes a little bit phobic or unsure about meeting new dogs, especially on a leash. So we want to make sure we socialize with well-behaved dogs that are going to be good with puppies, and we have enough space for them to move around and play, and there's not so many distractions that we're struggling to control our pup or communicate with them around, not only a brand new dog, but also ducks or squirrels or a bunch of people at a party. We really want to have a somewhat controlled environment like we do here. Excuse the pooping right there. It always seems to happen when we're filming a video. What can go wrong, okay, or what can get going crazy? And we just started covering that when we meet dogs on a leash. That can happen. Also, with older dogs that are maybe not very playful, they will correct our young pup. And if we're not careful to then remind our pup, hey, look, that dog doesn't want you to be near them, our pup may go back and say, hey, what was that? I got bit on the head. I'm kind of curious why. They go back there and they get another correction that's maybe pretty severe, because that older dog is not really understanding that this is a pup. They're just going, I don't know, this dog keeps coming up to me. I told him, stay away. And that didn't happen. So another thing that can happen is our dog can pick up bad habits from other dogs, okay? It can learn to bite or play fight in a way that's too intense. It can be practicing ignoring us. And I see that a lot when people are having the dogs interact. They don't practice interrupting that interaction enough and saying, okay, girls or guys, let's stop for a second. Let's all come back to mom and dad. Let's tune in for a second. Okay, cool. Go back to being playful. And what can happen is the dog learns, hey, when I'm playing, the world falls apart as far as, my attentiveness goes, and I'm just focused on this other dog. There is no human I'm going to listen to, because that's not what we do. When we're playing, we're just completely enraptured in the gameplay, and there is no other world as far as I'm concerned other than this dog. So we want to avoid those situations, and the way we're going to do that is by stressing quality interactions over quantity, by setting the dogs up for success when they interact with new dogs, by looking for those little warning signs. Hey, is this kind of setting the dog up for failure? Is this other dog pushing my dog around too much and my dog's getting smashed all the time? Is this other dog clearly, going to correct my dog and doesn't even want to play and is just going to bite my dog, and my dog's going to go back up there because I'm not coaching enough and involved in the process? Is there enough space for them to run around and play? Do we have enough time for them to interact? And if we do these things, we're going to have successful interactions with other dogs in the future. And that's the most important thing, is with every interaction with your pup to be thinking about not just this interaction, but how is this going to translate to future interactions, future socialization, and what's that going to look like for potentially the next 10 to 15 or sometimes even 20 years. So that's a little video on puppy socialization with older dogs, and hopefully this video is helpful. If you like it, go ahead and hit the like button or subscribe. It really helps the algorithm out, and I get more views because of it, which encourages me making more free content like this to help people. So remember, we don't blame them, we train them. If we love them, we lead them. Until next time, sayonara.